There we go. Can everybody see the screen? Yay, all right. So I just finished a bowl of potato chips, and because award ceremonies to me, it's like the Oscars. You gotta sit back, take out the popcorn or the chips. I had my mug of iced tea, and I was all set. And as an ex-Montrealer who avoided the Champlain Bridge her whole life, that was a really wonderful project to hear about. I'm still going to avoid the Champlain Bridge. However, it's just habit. This has been an amazing day, and I have dropped in and out of, I think, a good 75% of the speakers and everything that was going on. And what I found was some key messages that were being repeated across all the presentations. And that I thought was really interesting, because a lot of the times in a conference with multiple streams, sometimes you'll feel you're missing out if you have only followed one stream or you've not been able to follow that one stream through. But thank you to the sponsors and the project organizers of this conference. You've done a really marvelous job of ensuring that key messages have been carried through. So what were the sorts of things that I heard? Well, I heard that the young crew, which was, I think, a fascinating endeavor, goes all the way up to 35, which puts me about 20 years too late to join. But had I known about it sooner, or had it been available earlier in my career, it would have been something I would have absolutely joined in. I think for those of you who do mentoring, this is a terrific opportunity to take the focus from just that one-on-one mentoring you do and use the resources in something like Young Crew to really help a newer project manager build out a quick community of like-minded individuals. It's really something worth checking out. I also heard a lot of people talking about, why are we doing what we're doing? And that goes back to that video that came out a good dozen years ago. Simon Sinek's TED Talk on why do we do things. It's not enough to say what we're selling now, we have to talk about why we're selling it. And what I really heard all the way across was people talking about the why and the prioritization against the whys. So again, kudos, that message came through. I loved managing change is about tasks, performing tasks, and therefore project managers manage change too, as said by Rich Batchelor. And of course, you have to go with the joke, a Rich Batchelor does exist, groan. But that was a really nice message that came later on in the day. Another one I heard was, be a great communicator. That will shape your career. And communication isn't necessarily just about telling or pushing out information. Communication is always two-way. I've spent my entire life saying to folks, I really don't want to be classified as a communicator. I'd rather be classified as a storyteller, because that way I am building with an audience something that's going on, as opposed to doing a check mark that I sent out information. So being a great communicator can really help shape your career and take it in directions that you may not expect. And a lovely one I heard, project sponsors need to champion the project with their networks. So those of you who do project sponsorship, how's your network looking? And are you prepared to actively champion it across your networks? I heard having a plan is key to success. Now, as project managers, you think we'd know that instinctively, but yet that is one of the pieces. I'm in the middle of strategy work at an organization right now, and they're all saying, wow, we should have a plan, like they've just invented bread and how to slice it. And so it bears repeating over and over again. Tie priorities to objectives, and not just the small ones, but the big ones. What is the enterprise trying to achieve? What are we trying to achieve over the next 5 years? It isn't just enough to pour the cement today. It's where does this bridge need to span over the next 3 to 30 years? VJ had a really good quote in his, so I've actually quoted him on this. Do some quality networking. Thank you, VJ. You just spoke to my heart. And you shine only if your team makes you shine. Again, networking is a leadership deliverable. If you're not helping your team, you're not helping yourself. And a shout out to my new friend, Sammy, who said, listening is connecting. And we had a great sidebar conversation on the art of listening and how listening is probably the best compliment you can give somebody who will then want to be part of your network if you're known to listen as much as you talk. So those were my ahas that I overheard. I'm sure a bunch of you have. If you want to add some of your ahas into the chat so other people can see, or save an aha to send an email to a new friend perhaps and say, this was my aha, did you hear the same thing I did? It's a great conversation starter, and you can use mine, put some more up in the chat, see if you can get some more people chatting. So today was about networking as much as it was about learning about our careers. So what were my successes today? Well, I'm proud to say that I had 7 private messages sent to me today. I have now 10 new LinkedIn invitations. I have 2 invitations for personal calls, and 3 colleagues from previous lives said, oh goodness, I didn't know you were here. And we had a lovely time to reconnect. That's measurement right there. So tomorrow, if my boss says to me, so how'd the talk go? I can say, I got some points across. These were things that were good, kept the brand strong, but I can also say that I created and built and added to and deepened my network, even though we're online. And this feels less easy to do than if we were in a room together. It's still possible. And those are my measurements for today. I consider today to be successful as a result. Any questions? Anyone want to add anything? Counting to 5. Okay. So back to the beginning of the day. Can networking be plotted out like a project plan? Can you coach? Absolutely. You can offer all kinds of practical support. From my earlier idea to blocking time or having your team block time in their calendars, to at a team meeting asking for a debrief on some of your calls. If you folks say they're making the calls, actually let them debrief on some of the key points or questions that are coming up about the projects on those calls. You can have it as a topic at a team meeting. You can actually ask one of your team members to come in and talk about tips and tricks to network while working on your project. You can coach in your one-on-one sessions from listening, how to ask a good question. Believe me, that is an art form. Compliments. That's something we forget. We are often so hurried or focused on what went wrong that sometimes we forget to say, hey, that went really well today, or hey, that was a great presentation. Kevin, your speaking voice is really, really lovely, and really enjoyed hearing you tell the stories. We can say thank you. We can find an article or research on something that we know somebody loves and offer it up to our teams to let them share it out amongst their networks. It's not hard to support. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's when you don't do it that you notice the difference. You can borrow from change management, where the goal isn't to be liked. I don't really worry about whether or not people like me when I'm on a project. I worry about whether or not they're engaging with what needs to be done and understanding the why. And I'm trying to do it respectfully. but I'm trying to support engagement. And networking is absolutely about supporting engagement so you get to the project faster. And finally, the last thing to remember is you're focused on quality, not quantity. You don't need 1,000 LinkedIn invitations. You want the one that you want to talk to. Whether you're making that offer, it should be somebody you would like to talk to, not how many you have. I can actually tell you that I do know everybody in my LinkedIn profile. Kind of scary considering how many I have, but I've met them and talked to all of them. It isn't just a question of, oh, somebody wants to connect with me, click. Because it's not outwardly how we're worried about it. It's the fact that I have a network I'd like to maintain. I think some of you on this call I've known for a good 10 or 15 years. So things I'd like you to remember. A team is a network. You need to contribute to their success. They need to remember that they're their own support network. Everything is a network. And if you don't know how to network, then when you tell people to do relationship management, it's just another buzzword. And we have enough buzzwords. So let's move this one back into something where people don't cringe where they say it. Because your real legacy is your network. It's not just about the project you did or the award it did or didn't win. It's the people who want to keep working with you and with whom you want to keep working. That's the legacy. Success is not measured by the projects we put in. It's measured by the people who want to keep going on the journey with us. So deepen a relationship today, start a new relationship today or tomorrow. But that's your real legacy. Any questions so far? Any comments? Anybody disagree? People's LinkedIn has been blowing up. This is a good thing. Okay, so let me challenge you before we close out today. Because it's been a long day and you're probably wanting to get to the bowl of chips, shot of bourbon, glass of wine, hot beverage, maybe a meal, maybe just go hug your dog. But what's really success is being able to take some of this information and do it the next day. And yes, Kevin Amarone, you're the one who introduced me to it, and I forever curse you. So the first to do I ask you to think about with your team, your next project management meeting is, what are the opportunities? They're everywhere. From joining young crew to interacting with the sponsors. Send your team to have coffee with the sponsors of the project. Let the sponsor get to know more of the people on the projects. It's everywhere. It's every line. It's every call. It's every time you introduce yourself. Are you opening up a door for a future conversation? That's a whole other workshop. But to start to be aware of the opportunities you're missing. Networking is not also a one-on-one. You can include others. It can be a group sport. You can invite others in. You can help other people connect. You don't have to do it alone. One of my favorite things is buddying up with somebody, because I really hate introducing myself, but I love introducing other people. So you can buddy up on these things, whether it's an email introduction, leading into a FaceTime call, or when COVID restrictions are lifted, we go back into the handshake and the, if you're like me, the hug. Expand your comfort zone. Remind yourself while you're doing this. It goes right back to the project management tips of tie the activity to the purpose. What is the objective? And then follow up. Networking is not about handing out a business card and going, woohoo, I went through 500 of them, or a LinkedIn invite. I turn down LinkedIn invites if somebody just sends me an invite and doesn't say why they want to connect with me. Or if I connect with them and they don't follow up with why or how we can deepen or create a relationship, I don't have time and I will delete it. It's fine to do that because there's so many people in the world. Follow up becomes really important. It is, as Vijay says, making others feel important and make deposits first. Again, keeping it out of the transactional, remembering that a relationship gets built and then you ask for what you need. Or maybe sometimes you might never even have to. I also challenge you to register for next year and bring someone. Open this network up to other people. Tell them why you enjoyed it. Offer to introduce them. Offer to shepherd them around. Offer to give them an online introduction to one of the speakers that you've now met. Bring somebody in and register for next year. Let's do this again. Listen, contribute, enjoy, keep a sense of humor. Remember, networking happens all the time, every single day. And with that, I thank you for temporarily for some of you and longer term for others being part of my network. I hope you met at least one person. I hope you think about how you can help your teams get there. Networking is a leadership deliverable, and you are a leader. Back to you, Kevin and Alana.
Excellent. If you can unshare your screen, I can share mine. If I can figure out how to do that. I believe it's this. Do you see my screen? Just
International PM Day.
That's
we
it.
can see that.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, perfect. Okay, well, I think that's it. This is a historic event. This is the largest number of registrants we've ever had. We've been running these for years, and this is the largest number of events we've ever had. We've got 4 times the number of presenters we've had in the past. COVID didn't stop us. Rather, it spurred us to grow it and make it even better, just to show that COVID didn't curtail our spirits as project managers. We showed that disease. I want to thank all the presenters. You guys are phenomenal. You've donated your time to prepare for these presentations, even the last minute scrambling around to adjust them in the right templates and everything else is much appreciated. So thank you to all of our presenters. We had 18, I think, presenters in total. So thank you very much to all the presenters. I want to thank the behind the scenes team who managed the technology and set things up and made it happen, especially Alana Hughes for her technical support and all the organization of this, and Mark Buzan for his help in marketing and logistical support and making sure that there was money to help pay for this event. And I want to thank the sponsors. Without our sponsors, we couldn't have done this. Please visit their websites and see what they have to offer. I got a couple of logistical wrap-up items for everybody. Within a week or so, you're going to get an email with links to provide evaluations on the specific presentations you attended. The email is also going to contain information on how to claim PDUs or professional development credits for the individual sessions you attended. So don't go asking us. You're going to get it automatically. It's going to take about a week or so. We're just waiting for PMI to approve some of the claim codes. So it'll take a couple days to process that. Then we'll get it out to everybody. All of the sessions were recorded, and provided those recordings don't get corrupted or anything, we're going to be posting those videos on YouTube within the next couple of weeks. Follow the IPM Day social media feeds that you saw earlier in this event, and it'll be on the website. Follow the social media feeds to be notified when these videos are available. International PM Day is always the first Thursday in every November. The next event will be on November 4th, 2021. I'll see you all then. Tell your friends. Make sure you sign up and bring more friends with you. We could easily double the number of people on this event. We have the capacity with the technology. So spread the word. Thank you very much, everybody, and goodbye.